So do you want me to talk about my 2 goals at the Cup?
Yeah, go.
There you go. Hello and welcome to this big weekend preview brought to you by Betway. This week's guest, Gary Pallister, is here with us to preview Liverpool versus Manchester United at a time when this fixture has had the most riding on it in years. Gary, first things first, who's your favourite to win?
Oh, I'm going to sit on the fence.
Oh.
I think it's going to be a draw. I don't think it's going to be gung-ho, go for it football. You know, Liverpool will be desperate not to get hit on a break. They won't be overcommitting, I wouldn't have thought, because they've got their own defensive problems.
I think if I was a United fan, I'd be concerned about Liverpool's record just generally in big games, and just it seems mad going with Liverpool because everything suggests United. The form is phenomenal. I think United have got 12 more points than Liverpool in the past 10 games.
Well, I mean, if they had any kind of decent home form, you know what I mean, there'd be so many points clear at the top. That's why I'm interested to see whether he goes with Pogba and Fernandes. They're going to be pulling the strings. They're going to find holes and pick passes in that Liverpool defence, guaranteed. If he plays Pogba, I think he'll be thinking there's a vulnerability in this Liverpool team that we can take advantage of. I think if he goes Fred and McTominay, I think he'll be thinking we need to make sure we don't get beat in this game. We need to be solid.
We asked you to make some predictions for this game.
1-1 draw. Was it Robson to get booked?
Robson to get booked.
And Bruno Fernandes to score. Yeah, I'm disappointed he didn't score last night because he's full of assists, he's full of goals. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Bruno gets on the score sheet.
Do you think, United win on Sunday, that they'll start to think, do you know what, we could actually do it this year?
What a victory that would! What a massive shot in the arm that would be for the Manchester United players. Who's to know there isn't another hiccup coming around the corner? That's the big conundrum for everybody. We don't 100% trust this Manchester United side at the moment. There's a lot of ifs about Manchester United, you know what I mean? There's a lot of doubts about Manchester United. But they've got the players. I think they've got the players that can win a title. It's finding that consistency, which is always the case with teams that are going to win the league.
You played in, Gary, one of these that stands out to you.
So do you want me to talk about my 2 goals at the Cup?
I would love to hear about that.
Really good.
The only time I ever scored 2 goals in a game, we very rarely did set pieces. The manager had a letter from an ex-army major or something talking about decoys, army speak and things like that. He's saying he's incorporated into your set pieces sort of thing and incorporated into your game. Anyway, we spent the week before we played Liverpool after training doing set pieces. X was taking the corners. He would put it on a sixpence. We go to Liverpool. I think we were first and second. Scored 2 from set pieces. Basically, it was probably the game that decided the title that season. And absolutely buzzing. And we were playing Borussia Dortmund in the semi-final of the Champions League on Wednesday. So I'm in the dressing room celebrating. The gaffer's gone out to do an interview. Well, unbeknown to me, they asked him about the set pieces. And he said, it was just something off the cuff. And so I'm oblivious to all this. And next minute I get the knock. Pally, will you go out and have a chat with the cameras and talk about the game? I'm too right, I will. Lead me on. And so I'm going out there full of beans and yeah, Pally, so talk us through your 2 goals. Well, it's something we've been working on all week. I've done all that. I've come in. Manager's battered me across the back of the head. He's like going apoplectic with rage. Like, what are you doing telling Borussia Dortmund that we've been working on set pieces all week? Well, I'm like, geez. You can't do right for doing wrong, can you? Yeah. Scored 2 at Anfield. Helped us win the league and still got a rollicking.
Thank you for joining us here on the big weekend preview brought to you by Betway. And very special thanks again to our special guest, Gary Pallister.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks for your predictions, Gary. Let's see if you can knock Pascal Chimbonda off the top of our table. Nigel Winterburn came pretty close with 2 out of 3 predictions correct in the North London derby, so we look forward to seeing how you fare. And that's Gary's Bet Built. Remember, if you want to bet your way, just head on over to Betway.